Hello, good morning, everyone. You guys can hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me? All right. Okay, let me share my screen, yeah? All right. So today session, we're going to discuss our last tutorial, which related to the chapter that I have discussed last Friday. So I hope you guys have tried to do this tutorial. Dah cuba ke belum? Have you tried to do this tutorial? We have 5 questions. Dah cuba ke belum buat? Diam je semua. All right. So we have 5 questions to discuss today regarding hypothesis testing for 2 samples. Okay. So we look at question number 1. Okay. A headline in a newspaper proclaimed that men, women are equal talkers. Okay. So that's the claim. Men and women are equal talkers. So means that kalau di sini kita cakap equal, so means that the mean numbers of words spoken by women and men are equal. Itu claim dia dah, dia cakap kan. The headlines referred to a study. Sekejap saya print dulu. Okay, the newspaper proclaimed that men and women are equal talkers. The headline referred to a study of the number of words that sample of men and women spoken in a day. Okay, given below are the result of the study. Use 0.05 significance level. So we know that alpha is 0.05. Okay, level to test the claim that men and women speak the same mean. Okay, ni claim lah. Test the claim men and women speak the same mean number of words in a day using A, traditional methods, B, confidence method. Confidence interval methods lah. So traditional methods is the hypothesis testing that where you use the test statistics and critical values. Yeah. As for confidence method, you need to calculate the confidence apa? You need to calculate the confidence interval, right? All right, these are all the data given to you. So looking at these questions, you know that we are talking about mean. So we know that this is actually a population mean punya soalan kan. You know that we have three for 2 samples. We have 3 types of case study. So the first one is population mean when sigma 1 and sigma 2 are assumed equal. That's the first one. And the third one is population mean with sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not assumed equal. Okay. And the last one is the dependent samples, where the 2 samples are dependent. Kita ada 3 kan? We have 3 types of formula as well for 2 samples. Yeah. So as for this one, which one do we use? Can anyone give me answer? Sigma 1, sigma 2 assume equal or not equal? Is there any in these questions stated that we assume our population standard deviations equal? Is there any in these questions stated that sigma 1 and sigma 2 are assumed equal? Where is it? Bukan mean it's standard deviation for population, sigma 1 and sigma 2. Does it assume equal or not equal? Not equal. Because there's no statement that there is sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not equal. So means that in this case, you need to use formula for not equal. So yang ini population mean not sigma 1 and sigma 2 not equal. We're gonna use that formula, okay, for not equal. So first we will do the traditional method. So first step for traditional method is, of course, you need to write your hypothesis. Okay, you need to write your hypothesis. So your hypothesis, you know it from the claim. Claim here is, ini yang saya dah line ni, the claim that the mean word man and woman speaks the same mean number, So means that our claim is mu1 and mu2 is the same. That is our claim. So because of the equal sign, kita letak dekat null hypothesis. So don't forget to write at the end, this is our claim. So the opposite of the null hypothesis, which is alternative hypothesis, we're gonna put not equal lah. Sebab kita nak test equal kan. So the opposite of equal is not equal. So we're gonna have two tail because this is two sample. We always have gonna have two tail. Okay. So once we have the hypothesis testing, what do? You need to calculate the test statistics. So you get the formula from the formula sheet for population mean when sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not equal. You can ikut yang itu and you get the formula. And once you have the formula, once you choose which formula to use, then you just substitute all the values inside. Yang ini substitution je lah. And you just do a simple calculation using your calculator and you get your test statistics. Your T statistics is negative 0.676. Okay, that is your T that you calculated. After you calculate this, what you do is you need to know what is the critical values. This is the first step, hypothesis. Calculating T statistics is the second step. And then the critical value is the third step. Okay. How do you find the critical value? Because since we're going to use T distribution, kita nak guna T distribution, so of course you need to know what is your degree of freedom. And remember from last Friday, the formula for degree of freedom is the minimum between N1 minus 1 and N2 minus 1. You take the minimum one. Okay, so in this case, the minimum one is 186 minus 1. So that's why you have degree of freedom is 185. Okay. But I don't think you can get degree of freedom 185 in the T table. T table, I think sampai 40 je ke saya rasa. But okay. You can use any software or applications in online lah untuk cari. But you can assume as well because you can see the apa? Kalau you tengok kan 40, the number is increasing or decreasing. I can't remember the T table, but you can guess actually. So now the critical values, okay, the critical values of T here, you get plus minus 1.972. Okay, 1.172. So if you draw a graph, a normal distribution graph, a bell-shaped graph, you draw a critical value. So negative 1.972 and then 1.972. So this is the critical area, right? So once you have your critical values, critical areas, so you take the T test, so you draw it on the same graph. So negative 0.67 is somewhere here lah, kan? So this is our T, which is negative 0.676. Okay, so you can see that it falls outside the critical region. It falls outside the critical region. So because the test statistic does not fall within the critical region, we fail to reject null hypothesis. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So our conclusion will be there is not enough evidence to reject the claim because the claim is already in the null hypothesis. Since our result is we do not reject null hypothesis, so you can write there is not enough evidence to reject the claim that men and women speak the same mean number of words in a day. Okay, so that is traditional method. For the second one, B, confidence method by constructing 95% confidence interval. So your alpha is sama lah. Your alpha is 0.05. So construct a confidence interval. So for the formula for the confidence interval, use the formula for population mean sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not assumed equal. Okay, so use that formula. So this is the formula. So what you need to do is you just need to substitute into the formula lah. All right. So this is your critical values tadi kan. The critical values similar with the first one lah. Kita dah cari dekat traditional method kan. So similar one. So you just substitute into the formula of margin of error. So this is formula of margin of error. So you get margin of error is equal to 1595.4. Okay. Bila dah calculate margin of error, after you calculate margin of error, what you need to do is you plus minus with x1, no, not x1, mean 1 minus mean 2. Okay. So this is your mean 1 and mean 2. So you plus minus with the margin of error. So this is mean 1 minus mean 2 minus margin of error, and the second one will be plus the margin of error. So your confidence interval will be from negative 2141.9 to 1048.9. So that is the range of range of the mean lah. Okay, so it will be, this one is B. So the confidence interval is in between negative 2141.9 for the mean to 1448.9. So this is the interval for the mean. So how do you decide from this is you need to see, next let's need to look at the so you need to look at the inilah the original claim. So the original claim is equal, right? So usually you can write like this, minus equal to 0, right? So the claim consists of mu1 and mu2, mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0. So does 0 falls within the critical, within the confidence interval? Ada 0 tak in between? Of course, right? It falls within, zeros is within negative 2141.9 and to 1048.9. 0 dekat tengah-tengah kan? It falls within the confidence interval. So if it falls within the confidence interval, means that we cannot reject the claim, because claim is within the confidence interval. Ini berbeza dengan critical value lah. Ini confidence interval dia lain cara dia lah. So the 0 falls within the confidence interval. So it actually contain the difference between the two population means, right? 0. So because of that, those limits do contain 0. So the confidence interval suggests that it is very possible that two possible means are equal, which means that we fail to reject H null, because H null is within the confidence interval. H null is equal to 0 just now, kan? So it falls within the confidence interval. All right? Okay, question 1 okay or not? Can proceed to question 2. All right. So look at question 2. Two catalysts are being analyzed to determine how they affect the mean yield of a chemical process. Specifically, catalyst 1 is currently in use, but catalyst 2 is acceptable. Since catalyst 2 is cheaper, it should be adopted providing it does not change the process yield. A test is run in the pilot plant and result in the data shown in the table. So this is your data given to you. So you know how many N semua kan? So N for catalyst 1 and catalyst 2 is the same. Okay, so use alpha 0.05. So this is important, alpha 0.04. And assume equal variances. So assume equal sigma 1 and sigma 2 is the same. Okay, to test the claim that the mean yields of the two catalysts are different. So to test the claim that the mean yield of two catalysts are different. So means that mu1 and mu2 is not equal. So that is the claim. So when you write, you want to do a testing, when you write the hypothesis, so this is your hypothesis, step 1. So we know the claim is mean of order 2. Catalyst 1 and catalyst 2 is not the same. So mean 1 is not the same with mean 2. So this is our claim. So we put it, because of the not equal, we put it in alternative hypothesis. So the opposite of not equal is of course equal. So you letak dekat alternative and not alternative, null hypothesis. So that is the first step. And then the second one, since you know, kalau tengok dekat sini, since you know, we assume it equal, so we need to use a formula for population mean when sigma 1 and sigma 2 assume equal. So you need to refer to this formula where sigma 1 and sigma 2 are assumed equal. So in that formula, you need to calculate this first, right? You need to calculate the standard deviations first for this one. So you just get the formula and substitute all the values, all the data, all the information is already given here. Okay, all the information is already given there. So you just need to, Okay. Okay. So you just need to substitute inside the formula lah. Okay. Since you already know this one is assume equal. So you substitute all the formula, so you get the value here, and you calculate the T statistics. Yeah, you calculate the test statistics for T. Okay, so use the formula also for for sigma assume equal, and then you calculate, you substitute. So you substitute the value for this as well inside here. Substitute. So you calculate, simple calculation, and you get your T value is negative 0.35. And then after that, using traditional methods, so in this case, we show two methods, but in exam or in whatever lah, in your assignment, just use one method. If the question does not mention, you need to show both methods. So just choose whichever you're comfortable with. Okay. So once you calculate the T value, T statistics, so next is you need to know where is the critical value, kan? For the critical value, since this is T distribution, you need to know what is degree of freedom, and the formula of degree of freedom for sigma, when sigma is assumed equal, is n1 plus n2 minus 2. So you get it equals to 14. So you refer to the T table, and you will get the critical value is plus minus 2.145. So you draw a normal distribution graph, negative 2.145, 2.1145. This is your critical region. And what is your T value just now? It's negative 0.35. It's somewhere here. This is your T value just now, negative 0.35. So means that we do not reject H null because it falls outside the critical region. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So where is our claim actually? Kalau kita ingat, our claim is we do not reject this one. Kita tak reject. Our claim is in alternative hypothesis. So means there is not enough evidence to support. There is not enough evidence to reject the claim. Okay, there is not enough evidence to reject the claim. I think to support the claim that the mean yields of the two catalysts are different. Silap ni. To reject the claim. Since we do not reject H null, so there is not enough evidence to support the claim. Anything salah. Okay, so if you want to use p-value methods, so your degree of freedom is 14. So you need to get to know cari the p-value using the T statistics, right, from the table. Okay, and you can see that p-value is equal to 0.5, which is when you compare to the alpha, which is alpha is equal to 0.05. So 0.5 is greater than alpha. Therefore, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So sama lah. If we use a traditional method, we also do not reject the null hypothesis. If we use p-value methods, we also do not reject the null hypothesis. So the conclusion is sama. Okay, it's just want to show you both methods, traditional and p-value methods. Okay. Okay, number three. Number three, mental measurement of young children are often made by giving them blocks and telling them to build a tower as tall as possible. One experiment of blocks building was repeated a month later. Okay, so means that this is the same sample of children. It's just that we take another sample a month later with the times in seconds. Yeah. A, test the claim there is difference between two times of by using significance level alpha equals to 0.01, and then B, construct a 99% confidence interval for the mean of the differences. Okay, now this is the data given to you. Okay, you have similar child, A until O, similar child. It's just that the first sample is the first trial, and the second one is the second trial, which taken a month later. So let me ask you, is this independent or dependent? Is this case independent or dependent? Yes, it's dependent because it consists of the same sample, tapi kita nak tengok whether the first reading and the second reading is dependent or not. Kan sama ada dia correlated with the things that we want to check lah, right? The things that we want to test. So in this case, we have the same sample, the same children. It's just that we get the first trial and the second trial. So it's clearly this is dependent. So you need to look at the formula for the dependent for two samples. Ya, kena tengok formula tu. And then of course, if you remember, the first step is you expand the data. You expand the table. So how do you expand? Is you need to find D and D square. What is D? D is the first trial minus the second trial. Semua tolak. D is the difference. Yeah? D is the difference. So how do you get 0? 30 minus 30 lah. How do you get 30? 19 minus 6. Macam tu. See, you calculate it. And as for D square, so you just buat D square for every column lah. Okay, you just buat D square for every column. And preferably, you put summation here because later on when you look at the formula, you will need the summation of D square, right? And then also the summation of D, and then you need to square it. So it's better for you to calculate siap-siap or the summation of D and the summation of D square. So at the end, you just need to substitute into the formula. So you know N is your 15, the summation of D is 333, summation of D square is 22,478, and the mean for D is summation of D divided with N. This is how you get 22.27. Macam you kira mean biasalah. Okay, the summation of D divided with N. So once you have all the data, so senang je. The formula, where do you get the formula? In the formula sheet. After you choose, you tahu ini dependent, so you just get the formula. So you just substitute, okay, substitute inside, calculate, and you will get your value is 32.777. Okay, so now the claim. So we want to write, we want to know the hypothesis. Okay, want to know the hypothesis. Hypothesis dia apa tadi? We want to test the claim. There is a difference between two times by using significance level. There is a difference. Okay, there is a difference between apa tadi dia cakap? There is a difference between the two times by using significance level. So there is a difference. So I think this one is salah. Original claim is supposed to be here. If the difference, you have to be not equal to 0 lah. It means that it has difference because, and it's not equal to 0. So the claim should be dekat null hypothesis. Okay. So the alpha is 0.01. Degree of freedom is 14. So you need to calculate the test statistics. So use the formula in the dependent part and you just substitute and you calculate. So the test statistics is 2.631. Okay, 2.631. And then the next step is you need to Next step is you need to know the critical values. Okay, critical values. So critical values, when you draw a graph, will be two tail because it's two samples. Two samples selalu memang two tail. Okay. So this is the area, critical region. So you take the T 2.6 something, it's somewhere here. So 2.631. Okay, 2.631, the statistic. So if it falls outside the critical region, it falls in non-critical region. So we do not reject H now, right? We do not reject H now. Okay. We do not reject H now. So p-value, as for p-value, you just get the p-value for this T statistics here. We're using the degree of freedom of 14. And you see whether the p-value is more or less than the alpha. So the alpha is 0.01. The p-value is within 0.02 and 0.01. So means that it is more than 0.01 again. Not more than 0.01. It is p-value between 0.02 and 0.01. So p-value is less, because the alpha is alpha over 2, so 0.01, so 0.005. So it is less than 2. So we fail to reject H now. So there is not enough evidence to, so this is the claim. There is not enough sufficient evidence to reject the claim that there is a difference between two times where this one I need to get back to you lah. This one is, I think, ada masalah dekat sini, supposed to be not equal to 0 if we say it is there's different between two times. So I'll get back to you for these questions, yeah. And then for the confidence interval, you just need to calculate the margin of error first. So this is the formula for margin of error, and then you plus minus with the mean of D. Okay, how do you get this mean of D here? Is from this one, summation of D divided with N. So you get 22.27 plus minus with the margin of error. So it is negative 2.9 and 47.5. So we get to see, so this is question B lah. Question B only wants you to construct a 99% confidence interval, right? So you already have the interval. So this is your interval. Okay. All right. Question 4. An experiment was conducted to test the effects of the alcohol. The errors were recorded in the test of visual and motor skills for a treatment group who drank ethanol and another group given a placebo. The results are shown in below. So we have two groups. Ini treatment group, sini placebo group. We have two groups, different samples. Yeah. A, we construct confidence interval, which alpha 0.05. B, we use 0.05 significance level to test the claim there is a difference between treatment group and control group. Okay, so for this case, ini sigma 1 and sigma 2, there's no sentence asks you to assume sigma 1 and sigma 2 is equal, right? So you just use the formula for sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not equal. Okay, so first is you need to calculate confidence interval. So confidence interval, so you use that formula with sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not equal. Use that formula. So this is the margin of error. So you substitute all the values. All the values you can get it from the question itself. So x1 minus x2 first. So this is 4.2 minus 1.71. So you get 2.49. You buat simple calculation plus minus, so the confidence interval is in between 1.46 to 3.52. Okay, it is between 1.46 to 3.52. Now for the second question, which is B, so we want to test the claim. Apa claim dia tadi? We want to test the claim there is a difference between treatment group and control group. So there is a difference. So means that the difference do not equal to 0. Sebab kalau 0, dia tak ada difference kan? So the difference is not equal to 0. So where do you put not equal? You put it in alternative hypothesis. So the null hypothesis, you do the opposite lah, which is not equal and equal lah, kan? And you write where is your claim. And your alpha is 0.05. Your degree of freedom is 21. Okay, so you calculate the test statistics using the formula for sigma 1 and sigma 2 not assume equal. You substitute all the values inside, you calculate, you get your t statistics. The test statistics is equal to 5.045. Okay, 5.045. So of course you need to find what is your critical value next. To find your critical values. So in this case, critical values is plus minus negative 2.080, 2.080. So this critical region. So you get the t statistics and you draw it on the same graph, which is here. Kalau kita draw kan, 5.05 is somewhere here, kan? 5.045. So you can see that it falls within the critical region, so we reject H null. So when we reject H null, so when we reject H null, so there is sufficient evidence to support the claim. So because claim is here, right? So we reject H null. So there is enough evidence to support the claim that there is a difference between treatment group and control group. Means that we accept the claim kan, sebab ini kita dah reject. So there is enough evidence to support the claim that there is a difference between treatment group and control group. That's why I said yang soalan tadi ada salah sikit, because we want to test the claim there is a difference. So later you buat you try sendiri so the claim pindah sini and your conclusion going to be different as well. You try following this one lah. This one is betul, because we taste the claim there is different between the mean. Okay, all right. So number 5, the last questions. Okay, so far any questions? Any questions so far? Kenapa hari ni senyap saja? Ngantuk ke? Alright, so if no questions, we proceed with number 5. Okay, list below are the heights in inches of candidates who won presidential election and the heights of the candidates who were runner-ups. Okay, the data are in chronological order. So the corresponding heights from the two lists are match. The tips here, the hint here is this question already said that these two lists are matched. Remember, kalau kita nak tentukan independent and dependent, we need to see whether the data is dependent or not, alright? Or sometimes we say it is match. So dekat sini, you already mentioned that this data is match. So means that we're gonna treat this case study using dependent formula. Kan? Okay, we know already. We're going to use dependent formula because the lists are match. Okay, match ataupun sometimes they use paired. The lists are paired. The data are paired. Okay, paired or match lah. Okay, macam tu lah. Alright. And a well-known theory is that winning candidate tend to be taller than the corresponding losing candidate. So the winner, teori dia, the winner is taller than the losing. So the winner is taller than the than the runner-ups lah. The winner is taller than runner-ups. That is the theory. Use a 0.05 significance level to test the theory. So we want to test the theory. Sama ada winner is taller than losing candidates. Yeah. So does height appear to be an important factor in winning the presidency? So that is first question. B, if you plan to test the claim in part A using confidence interval, what confidence interval should be used. Construct a confidence interval using 99% confidence level, then interpret the result. So the first one is you're using 0.05 significance level. That is question 1. Okay, now you are given this data here, winner dengan runner up. Okay, so we know this is match pair, so you're going to treat it as dependent. So macam biasa, you construct, expand the table first. Yeah, you calculate the difference and d square first. And then, of course, you calculate the summation of d and summation of d square. And then you calculate the mean for d. How do you calculate the mean for d? It's d over n. This is how you calculate the mean for d. And then you should know what's the degree of freedom, and your alpha is 0.05. So first, you need to calculate this. Okay, you just take the formula in the formula sheet lah, and you substitute and you get it equal to 2.711. Okay, now the claim is the difference is more than 0. Why? Because when you minus winner and runner up, you get positive numbers. Why? Because winner is taller than runner up. Kan? Kita punya teori tadi, winner is taller than runner up. So when winner minus runner up, you're gonna have positive numbers, right? Sebab nombor besar tolak nombor kecil, you're gonna have positive numbers. So that's why our claim is is difference is more than 0. That's the claim. Okay. So whenever you see more than, you cannot put it in null hypothesis, kan? So you put it in the alternative hypothesis. So this is your claim because the difference is more than 0, because the theory is winner is taller than runner up. Okay, so the opposite of more than, you just put equal. Kalau equal tu tak dapat terima, we accept the more than lah, macam tu. Okay, so the null hypothesis will be the difference is equal to 0. Okay, difference to 0 because of the equal sign, kan? And then you calculate the test statistics. Yeah, di formula ni semua dapat dekat formula sheet. So you calculate the test statistics, you get your test statistics equal to 0.553. So 0.553, that is your test statistics, and you need to find your critical values. So critical values is negative 1.746. Okay, negative 1.746. 1.746 is somewhere here. Not negative, positive 1.746. So this is your critical region. It's more than 0, kan? So there's the critical region. So you need to draw the t statistics on the same graph. So it falls here 0.553, which is outside the critical region. So it falls in non-critical regions. So we do not reject H null. So we do not reject H null. Do not reject H null means there is not enough evidence to support the claim. Sebab since we cannot reject H null pun kita tak reject, means that kita kind of accept it. So there is not enough evidence to support that the claim is the winner is taller than the runner-up. So we can say there is not enough evidence to support the claim that the mean difference between winning candidates and the corresponding losing candidate is greater than 0. Means that the height does not appear to be an important factor. Okay, that is our conclusion. So B, we need to calculate the confidence interval using alpha 0.1. Okay, so using this alpha degree of freedom, you just need to calculate. Mean ni you dapat tadi kan, dekat atas ni. Ini, this using mean D. So it's just 0.375 plus minus the margin of error. You just substitute. And your confidence interval is equal to negative 0.81 to 1.56. Okay, 0.81 to 1.56. Okay, so at 99% confidence level, we cannot be certain that the difference between the height of the winning and losing candidate is greater than 0, because it is very possible that the mean difference is equal to 0. It's because 0 also falls within the confidence interval. So we cannot say that it must be equal more than 0, because 0 pun masuk sekali dalam confidence interval. So we do not have enough evidence to support the claim that the mean for the mean difference for winner and the runner up is more than 0. Macam tu lah. Basically, the conclusion is the same using A and B. A is traditional methods, B is confidence interval methods. Okay, basically that's it for tutorial 11, our last tutorial. Any questions so far? Okay. So if those, kalau you belum cuba lagi tutorial 11, please do so. Try to do it on your own, the tutorial. Yeah. So there will be no class. So this will be our last class, our last tutorial class. So next week tak ada class dah, week 14 kan? We don't have any class week 14. So you just submit your assignment to next week lah. As for the carry marks, I will keluarkan by next week. Yeah. So carry marks for semua lah, for semua except assignment 2 lah. Assignment 2 baru submit next Friday kan? So I will give you your carry marks next week lah. Okay, so before your study week. You do have study week this semester, right? Do you have study week this semester? You need to refer to the to the academic calendar lah. I think this semester got study week. Last semester we don't have, but this semester I think we do have 1 week of. Tak sure lah, but you go and check lah your academic calendar. All right. So all the best for your exam later on, final exam. And also, if anything, you can just ask me through Telegram lah. All right. Okay. No, I need to do I need to share a QR code again? Ada yang terlepas ke tadi? Okay, let me stop sharing this first. For those who have scanned the QR code, you can leave the session lah. Bye.